Actually, you know, I've given it some thought. And I am, in fact, going to be restarting this campaign. I'm going to be starting over my Terran Empire game in Stellaris. For several reasons. One of them being the 2.0.2 patch. I really want to be playing it, but as I said before, there's a few aspects of it that makes it, in my opinion, something that's better served if you start a new game with it than try and apply it to an existing one. Like the thing with outposts costing energy, for one thing, because you do have to pay upkeep for outposts in 2.0.2. But now we're going to start up with that version. So, just give me a second to boot up Stellaris, and we can start it again. And play a new game of this and all. This appears to be the thing that happened when I was playing my Devouring Swarm on the Utopia patch, where I decided to start a new game because of some update, and then start a new game because I wanted to play it modded. And I kept starting a new game, and then eventually, well, I only did that twice, but it eventually resulted in me failing to play all the way through because of reasons. Oops. Hit the wrong button. I guess let's see if we're picking this up. There. Shouldn't take too long to load up. And my first order of business is to delete this save. And now, start a brand new campaign. And I'm going to disable all of the empires that I have set as required to spawn. See, that's for an old game I was doing. Or not necessarily an old game, just a different one, where I wanted to spawn specific empires that I wanted to play as. Rather than getting random ones, I wanted to pick what would show up. Now let's find the Terran Empire. Yeah, efficient bureaucracy, mining guild, xenophobe, fanatic, militarist. Let's see. Let me just check and make sure everything is right. I think that should be singular, otherwise it'll be like Humans World or something. Yep, SPQR is good. We are in Seoul, Humanoid City. But, you know, I'm considering dropping us down from fanatic militarist to just militarist, and going with authoritarian. Just because it's been ages since I've played an authoritarian anything, and I kind of miss it. What the hell, I'll do it. In for a penny, in for a pound, right? We are authoritarian, militarist, and xenophobe. A bit more of a spread in the ethics than before, but why not? It'll make things interesting, to say the least. And now I save the game, and we're going to do a 1000 stars. I'll just reset everything to default, so it'll put it as we'd be getting like this. And spiral 2-arm, 15, 2300, 2400. That, I think, is a good setup. We will have a huge galaxy, 2-arm spiral, 15 AI empires, and actually I'm going to knock it down to 2 advanced starts, just because I have a tendency to get screwed by advanced starts, and I'd like that to not happen if possible. I also have 4 fallen empires, 3 marauder empires, our tech tradition cost, habitable worlds, primitives, and crisis strength are at the base levels. Mid-game and end-game start years are default, and we'll have normal difficulty and random empire placement, and I am turning off advanced neighbors. Because, let me tell you, I am not fond of the idea of an advanced AI empire spawning right next to me, and me then having to fight them. I've had that happen before. It never goes well. Densities and everything will be default. I will leave Iron Man off, just because I reserve the right to reload a save if things go wrong for stupid reasons. In any case, I am going to get us started now, I think. So, let's hit play and see how things go. Once again, I will try to read out most of the text, but I'm not going to read out all of it. Just because some things are really, really common. Now, let's see. In the eons since the first primitive human communities took shape in the meadows and forests of Earth, our civilization has spread and prospered. Technological progress has been swift, but as our numbers grew, the civilian population became increasingly restless. With our world on the brink of anarchy, the military stepped in to restore the rule of law. A new order was established to safeguard our nation from all threats, both external and internal. Now, after the discovery of the hyperlane network, the finest minds of the Terran Empire have finished development of the first hyperdrives. The stars themselves are finally within our grasp. Yeah, that's not how it happened, actually. That is not how it happened. And we do have a caste system. But let's go with let's just set up our research here. Engineering facility. My shipyard. I would like a trading hub, please. And we're near the end of our galactic arms, so that'll give us some nice choke points. There's also quite a few connections. It's nearby that we want to have a look-see at. So I'll just queue up our surveys. so that we can get started claiming systems soon. There. And now I want to give our policies a look. No, not planets and sectors, policies. So we have unrestricted war, minimal food stockpiling, indiscriminate orbital bombardment, resettlement allowed, aggressive first contact, national borders closed. We can't do anything with core world pops or refugees. These, everyone's allowed to live on our core worlds. We allow slavery, we allow purging of, let's say, undesirable elements within our society. Our species is set to the caste system citizenship, so anyone working food or minerals will be a slave. Anyone working other things will be free. I like that. It's been a while since I've played with caste system, so I'm gonna leave it that way. We have decent living standards. I could up it to social welfare. More happiness for a touch more consumer goods use. We have full military service. We can colonize. No population control. We control migration. And I use chattel slavery as my type, and the only purge we can do is displacement. So we can't just have everyone killed. Let's see here. So, before we get started, I'm actually going to kick it up to social welfare just to give us a little happiness boost. It's not a whole lot in terms of minerals at this point, and I should have enough built up by the time it becomes significant to offset that. We're also going to go into policies and edicts. I'm fine with all these. And we don't want to change our war type, but I'm going to up our food stockpiling to balance, just because I've tended to notice that when we run a food stockpiling policy of minimal, I tend to run out and then just end up wondering where all the food went. We have Crown Princess Vopicia Huntington, and that's or Vopicia even, and I know I'm horribly mangling the pronunciation. It's a thing I do. Get used to it. We're not gonna mine Mars for the moment. I'm gonna save up my minerals to be able to do things. But for now, we're just surveying a couple of systems, and I'm right now waiting until we get 200 energy, because at that point I'm going to get another science ship and recruit a scientist for them so we can start exploring in both directions at once, and that way we will be exploring systems faster than we can claim them, which is the way I want things to be going. But for now, I'm going to put the speed up to fastest. I don't normally do this, but this is the very early stage of the game. As our starbase finishes its equivalent of the solar panel network. Anyways, this is the very early stage right now. And there's not a whole lot interesting or exciting going on, so I am going to speed it up as much as possible to get to the point where we start claiming systems, or claiming more systems, I should say. And now we're going to recruit a second science ship, or build a second science ship rather, and recruit a second scientist to be available for when that ship is coming out of the production line, so to speak. And there it is. Give that ship our scientist and give it some orders. For now, we do that. Then you can turn around a little bit and start going from there. And now our construction ship can get that energy on Jupiter. As to whether I'm going to claim these couple of systems, we'll wait and see what they contain. But there's Alpha Centauri. It has a size 14 continental world in it, but that doesn't automatically mean I'm going to stake a claim to it. It all depends on how, as I was saying before we finish that, it all depends on what's on the system. The Ute Empire. We have recovered artifacts from an ancient alien civilization on XR-7-758, so some random asteroid, in other words. Our scientists think they inhabited this region of space roughly 6 million years ago, based on the age of the artifacts. The aliens called themselves the Ute, and appear to have been very large and flat anthropod analogues. It seems a single individual could reach a length of nearly 100 meters as an adult, and it was apparently exceedingly rare for more than 2 or 3 Ute to travel aboard the same starship. Very interesting. So we get the precursor event chain for the Ute Empire. They were an alien civilization that inhabited a portion of the galaxy roughly 6 million years ago. Physically, they were very large and flat anthropod analogues. If we could find enough relics from their civilization, it may be possible to pinpoint the location of their home system. Just find out more about them and all that jazz. Yeah. Okay. Signs of activity by an ancient precursor on this inhospitable rock. So that would be Silage 4. Go ahead. Remnants. The administration on Earth received Science Officer Volesis Sapunius's report on the alien remnants with some apprehension. The leavings in question are now widely considered to be definitive proof of unknown forces once having been active in the galaxy. Now, some prominent human thinkers reject this in favor of identifying the traces as freak geological formations or results of curious national phenomena. Quite remarkable, and those people rejecting it are idiots. For now, let's do our surveying. And we found the remains of a Ute cruiser in orbit over Silage 4. Seems to have fallen victim to weapon fire, but given the extreme age of the Hulk, it is difficult to be certain. There is no indication that the ship was ever equipped with an FTL drive. It must have traveled between the stars at sublight speed. We need skill 4 to be able to deal with that, so it's not happening anytime soon. Table it for now. Let's see here. This is a very small planet with a bunch of tile blockers. I want to unlock toxic kelp. The ability to clear it, that is, before we do anything. about that. That said, it is some nice resources they have there. For the moment, though, I want to get a few more warships in our fleet and signs of precursor activity again, this time on Wraxham 4. Go for it. Okay, gotcha. Ute colony ship. Partial remains of an ancient Ute starship have been found in high orbit over Wraxham 4. An initial analysis conducted by the HMS Strabo indicates that the vessel may have served as a colony ship. Even cruiser-sized Ute ships were typically crewed by only one or two individuals given the immense size of their bodies. But this hulk has more than a dozen cryopods attached, each containing withered exoskeletons from what must have been Ute colonists. Indeed, quite curious. But we can't research it yet. And hostile fleet. Earth is in an uproar following the sighting of unidentified ships. Let's assume the worst, and encountered alien vessels in the Soval system. They've been flagged as beta menace until we can learn more about them. Oh, it's fucking amoebas then. Research that. We have unlocked our Unity traditions. I am going to start by picking expansion, I think, to grow faster. But we are in fact going to claim the Alpha Centauri system first. We need to get out of our home system after all. We'll probably end up pushing north is the way it's looking, though I can't say for certain. There's plenty of nice things in the south, even if there are some 500 military strength aliens sitting around there, and I'm going to change up the way we're doing our survey mission. So now you can do that. Let's see. Precursor activity on... I don't know what this place is. Odin 893 we'll call it. So do it. Go for that. But I'm going to drop us down to fast speed now. We're getting a decent amount of surveying done. I'll temporarily lower the speed result because fast is a bit too out there as far as I'm concerned. Let's see. Ute asteroid dwelling. The asteroid appears to have served as the home of a single Ute individual. Deep scans show a series of connected caves in the asteroid's interior that follow a pattern similar to the rooms seen in ancient Ute dwellings that have been discovered elsewhere. To learn more, we'll have to dispatch an away team to investigate the system. And we need more science skill to be able to do that. Alpha Centauri is mine, yay! The asteroid is emitting some form of radiation in controlled bursts. Is someone, something, trying to communicate with us? We'll research that. And now, I'm going to claim the Wrexham system. 5 minerals is not to be snuffed at in the early game, after all. So I am going to grab that. Let's see, space amoebas, we'll blow them up. I am not fond of space amoebas, certainly not fond enough to research them instead of blowing them to bits. Surveying another system, rock brain. A scan of the particularly massive asteroid HAL 112 yields fascinating results. Rock's core is shot through with a network of conductive crystals carrying a weak electric charge. The crew on the HMS Strabo recognized this matrix as a primitive neural lattice and believed the celestial body to be thinking in some capacity, if not fully sapient. They seek permission to excavate the core and transport it to the nearest orbital station for closer study. Go on, then. Rock migraine. The core, once coaxed from beneath the crust of the asteroid, does not respond well to the vacuum of space. The HMS Strabo's instruments read a sudden energy spike moments before the rocky lump gently but decisively fractures. Large chunks of the conductive mineral are salvaged, but whatever spectral charge animated them is now gone. Our scientist gets the carefree trait, and we get a bunch of energy and physics research. Well, shit. That's, to be perfectly honest, the only outcome I have ever gotten with that event chain, and I honestly do not know if it's possible to get one other than that. So, signs of precursor activity, signs of precursor activity. So, we simultaneously got precursor activity in both locations by both science ships. Huh. Funny how that works, isn't it? Let's see here. I will build a power plant and start clearing away some of these tiles. There. And Ute satellite. A Ute satellite was placed in orbit around Hizar 2 to commemorate the moment of first contact between their empire and the Jabardini, a contemporary civilization. This event occurred right here in the Hizar system and had a profound impact on all levels of Ute society. For over 1 million years, they had thought themselves alone in the galaxy, and the Ute reacted with both awe and horror upon the discovery of sapient alien life. The HMS Icarus has recovered the satellite, which now awaits a full analysis. And none of our scientists have the skill to do those projects yet, but I am very interested to see what the story of the Ute Empire is like, because I've never really delved all that closely into the precursor events, for a couple of reasons. Mostly because I always had trouble getting to them when they would generate inside enemy territory and stuff. Listening post. We have discovered several massive listening arrays on Sarcophagus and 4. These arrays are millions of years old, and we believe they were originally built by the Yut. It appears at least one other alien civilization repurposed them at some point in the last 500,000 years for their own needs. The colossal receiving dishes are beyond repair, but some terminals are still intact. We get listening arrays, and yet another special project I can't complete yet, because we need level 5 science for that. Now, you can enter orbit around that particular asteroid because I want to mine it once we get the resources to do that. Let's see. Power plant is almost done, and we are charting us some star systems. Let's see. Class 12 asteroid orbits a moon. Small planetoid's orbit appears too stable for its presence to be a natural occurrence. Well, research it. And you mine that asteroid for me. Mine that asteroid. Let's see. Someone towed it into stable orbit around Procyon 4A. The massive engine sections and braking thrusters can still be found on the surface, although they have long since been rendered inoperable. Whoever did this also mined the asteroid for minerals, but these operations were seemingly abandoned shortly after they began. That's 3 engineering research there. Well, right now we're going to have to halt the expansion because we don't have the mineral income to be going at it as rapidly as I'd like. I'm just going to exploit a little bit in the systems I do currently hold. That will of course change once our next slave pop on Earth comes in. But for the moment, that's how it is. A colossal impact crater hints that something big collided with the surface of this planet once on Inthor 5. I'll have you research that, I think. But I'm dropping down to merely fast now. Move into orbit there. We've researched our engineering facilities. Get me some ceramo metal armor, please. And I just realized I forgot to do something kind of important. Switch our ships to being missile boats. Change out the energy weapons for mass drivers and nukes. And there we go. This will be the Athena class, I think. And I'll do some of the same thing with my station. And put a few nukes on it. 375. 500. our defense station here. Meet the Leningrad-class defense platform. Appropriate name, right? Very appropriate. I would say it's somewhat fitting, considering the history of that name. But we have our special anomaly thing done. A massive crater on Inthor 5 appears to be the result of a collision with a starship. From the size of the crater, we suspect that a ship exiting hyperspace at maximum velocity rammed the planet for reasons unknown roughly 10,000 years ago. The HMS Icarus has picked up residual subspace echoes near the crash site, reminiscent of a collapsed hyperparticulate field. But as the ship itself disintegrated on impact, the theory cannot be verified. Still, it's rather remarkable, and we get physics research for that. And now I want to start mining that barren world for minerals, because we need more minerals to be able to grow faster. And to be able to expand our navy. And there, upgrade the fleet. Grow it just a little more, and our fleet is doing quite well for itself. Quite well indeed. Our scientist has developed new skills and has become maniacal. So he will get more research speed. That said, sorry about that, everyone. I had my typical interruption. They still happen from time to time, despite the fact that such things have vastly decreased since I started both Let's Playing and live streaming from at my home. Still, it is a thing that happens. Let's see. Efforts to map the surface of this moon have identified a strange mountain formation in the southern hemisphere. It does not appear to have formed naturally. Okay, Gnome 5A. Let's see what you have for us. and prepare to claim the Procyon system in the near future. Not this month, though, because we are off by about half a mineral, and that prevents us from laying claim to it. There. Okay, a gigantic skeleton. This previously thought assorted of mountains in the southern hemisphere of this moon as the massive skeletal remains of a single colossal alien life form. The bones have been dated as 3.4 billion years old, but our scientists have ruled out that Genome 5A could have supported life on that scale at any point in its history. Science Officer Proculus Stactylus has prepared a special research project to delve further into this mystery. And we can do that project, so go for it. And our research into fusion reactors is done. So, let's see. I'm grabbing power plant level 2. After all, the more systems we claim, the more our starbase upkeep is going to start to skyrocket. And we'll need to be doing something about that. So now I will get colonization fever for more unity, because unity. Yes, because unity. Such a perfect response, right? Okay, then. Keep on at it. And we will claim this system. And I certainly mentioned this in the last iteration of this live stream. And we'll take that system as well. I certainly mentioned this in the version of the live stream before I decided to restart so I could play with the latest beta. But I really like how they slowed down the expansion and how I actually know which systems are going to be mine now, instead of it just happening because reasons, or because my population got a little bigger. And that sort of thing. That's my favorite part of this, even though it slows down expansion in the early game, but it makes the borders of all the empires more predictable and logical, because you know they didn't just get those systems by waiting to get another 3 pops on their homeworld. They got them by investing resources into establishing outposts and doing the space exploration equivalent of planting your flag on a piece of land and declaring that it's yours. And I just love how organic and predictable it makes things, because you actually know that system belongs to that empire because they decided that it was worth spending the resources to take control of it. It didn't just become theirs for some arbitrary reason. That's only really something you can understand if you spend the time to delve into the background mathematical formulas that run border expansion or whatever. And now I'm going to build an outpost around this star to maintain our energy output. A small and otherwise insignificant moon orbiting this gas giant appears to be on a trajectory that will soon result in collision with its primary. 20% fail risk. Research it. And the moment they're done with that energy there, I want some more minerals. Moon impact. Have a look-see. Have a look-see. And then we're going to have our survey team move in the opposite direction. Let's see what's up there. We found aliens. Let's see. Yep. And it's just space cows, basically. That's all that is. Space cows. Go on then. After you're done up there, I want you to move down, claim a few of the southern systems for me. We won't be able to take that one just yet. Not until we clear out those amoebas, at any rate. But I can start working on it. And speaking of which, we successfully recorded the collision and captured it from several angles, transmitted it live. And our scientists got a bunch of physics data. So, experience and a bit of physics research. Good. Now I'm just waiting on the next month to roll around, so I will, have what I need to build a mine there for my slaves. Or, slave is such a harsh word, isn't it? I feel like it would be much, much better if I were to refer to them as... They're not in slavery. They are in a non-optional work program, we'll call it. Yes. They are employees who don't have the option to quit their job, basically. So it's not slavery, it's perpetual employment. We're helping them, and they should be grateful. The Tianki. Yeah. So yeah, basically space cows. And then we'll immediately claim the system right next. Hello? Hi. Yeah. That was a rhetorical question, right? I'm back. Sorry about that. Phone call. Phone call. That's what that was all about. I got a phone call. And had to answer it. I wish I could predict when those would happen so I could unplug. So that I could mute my phone or something and just not get calls, because they're quite annoying sometimes. I mean, this one wasn't. It was just my uncle who wanted to call to say hi, but some of them can be a bit of a pain in the ass, and I would rather they weren't. Storms in the upper atmosphere. Study them with more detail. Go on then. And that's a continental world there. Doesn't look like we're going to have a lot of options for planets to colonize, though. I may have to go for Alpha Centauri 3 and just colonize it. Even if it does have quite a few blockers on it. Failed that. So... see here. Sirius is Looking okay. Let's see what you got for me. Wow, that's even worse than Alpha Centauri. Yeah, I'm picking Alpha Centauri for my first colony because it's not shit. Even if I wish it was better, at least it isn't shit. Yes. And I'm right now saving up all my minerals to colonize that place. I'll get back to claiming new systems once I have a second planet. One month to go on the additional edicts unlocking. Yeah, which, you know, looking at Sirius and this planetary modifier here reminds me of something I was thinking of a few days ago. One feature that I'd really like to see in Stellaris is the ability to remove these negative modifiers. Like, especially if it's a planet that has dangerous wildlife, and that's about 90% of the blockers. If I remove them all, then the negative happiness modifier for dangerous wildlife should go away, shouldn't it? That's how I feel about it anyways. Maybe I'm just overthinking this, but it just seems like it would make sense. Okay, I'm gonna research heritage sites now, because we are gonna keep growing and therefore get additional penalties to our Unity output as a result of the number of planets. Okay, we're above 300 minerals now, and this planet, they have drugs in the atmosphere. So I'm colonizing this planet. Nova Egyptus. No, I want something I can pronounce. Nova Arabia. That'll do. Yes. Tactical retreat, apparently. Okay. And we have found a cloud of energy, basically. Is what that thing is. Okay. Now, just wait until you hit that point, and I'll build a mining station there to collect that 3 energy from the sun, and we can maybe expand a little further. Abandoned ship left adrift. Research it. Research it. So now, tradition cost by number of colonies goes down. I want that, because otherwise it's going to be a pain to deal with the rising costs as we keep on doing this. Solar Sailor, abandoned in orbit. An interesting, albeit primitive design. So, if you're wondering what the hell that's on about, think Count Dooku's ship from Clone Wars that you see him in once or twice in that TV show, and that's a pretty good idea. For now, construction ship, go and build that mining station in Seoul. The one around Mars. I was leaving it for the time being, but you can go on. We've just entered Zom here, and there's a natural wormhole. And I am actually going to read out this bit of text because it's something that wasn't in previous versions. Even if people who've played Apocalypse will know of it. We have detected what appears to be a naturally occurring subspace phenomenon on the edge of the ZOM system. A rift in the very fabric of space-time has formed here, creating a wormhole that our scientists speculate may provide a conduit through subspace to another wormhole located somewhere else in our galaxy. Depending on where the second wormhole is located, this could potentially allow ships to travel from one end of the galaxy to the other in a matter of days. Unfortunately, this wormhole, like the vast majority of its kind, is inherently unstable. Any vessels foolish enough to pass through it would be ripped apart in seconds, if we could only stabilize it. And we will eventually be able to stabilize that wormhole, but that's a technology we have to unlock, and it's pretty late on. If I remember right, it's a late game tech. Moving towards unlocking a couple more of those techs, so I'll keep at it. And you may notice that I'm not expanding nearly as rapidly as I was in the previous iteration of this stream series. The reason behind that is that I gave it a little thought, and I'm fairly certain that my pace of expansion probably contributed to me being relatively behind in technology. And I want to avoid that. First of all, we're going to not auto-generate designs, and I'm going to get rid of the auto-generated ones. So, we found some atmospheric readings that don't match projections. Go on, then. And I also need to keep building out my fleet, because this thing right here, just shy of 600 military strength, that is something I need to address. So, move there. Right, you can read that yourself if you like. It's not too important or interesting. At least not in comparison to some other things. For now, though, we need to build some more mining stations for energy. An ancient orbital shipyard drifts in silence above this world. It has suffered significant battle damage, and entire sections of the facility are missing. Research it. I'd like to know more about this ancient orbital facility. So do tell me more about it, please. So, how are things going, I wonder? Well, we'll also build the other one there, because that way allow some more resources. The orbital facility went boom. That's unfortunate. And the colony ship finished without me noticing, and it's about to colonize Alpha Centauri 3. Yep. Our colony ship has gently touched down at the mouth of a large river delta on one of the several continents that can be found on Nova Arabia. This temperate forested region will serve as an ideal first landing site. The ship has been permanently converted into the administrative headquarters of the new settlement. Its reactor core is in the process of being removed so that it may serve as the colony's temporary power source. Hundreds of small tents and prefab shelters have sprung up around the former starship's massive hull as colonists begin to disembark in large numbers. Goddamn automated phone calls. I hope you burn in hell. I'm exaggerating with that one, people, but they are a colossal pain in the ass. Seriously. If you are about to hit me with an automated phone call because you think it's funny, and likely no one and I'm directing this at knows my real life phone number, so I don't have to worry, but still, if you're going to, don't. Annoying does not begin to cover that shit. It really doesn't. After this, we will claim that system up there. I want to get to some of the I want to get these couple of systems that are over here, but we need that one to lower the influence cost of claiming it. Okay, we've unlocked power plant level 2. And I'm going to get a physics lab because research. Yes, because of research. Makes sense, right? Perfect sense. Okay, you do that, and we eventually are going to want to upgrade our power plants to level 2. And right now I'm going to bring up and start ragging on another sub. God damn it! Goddamn son of a bitch. Automated calling bullshit. I'm going to kill them, I swear. I am going to fucking kill them. Those bastards. God. Okay. Now the only question is, how slow and painful do I make their deaths? I'm kidding. Weak signal from the surface of planet. Research. I'll do that next so that we can get some more food. And actually have a decent amount of it. Survey marker. Yes, that's very nice and all. Okay. armor done. I'll get powered exoskeletons and unlock army damage and minerals, I think. I'm currently deliberately refraining from upgrading our power plants because I don't really need it at the moment. Not really. I'm sure I'll end up doing it eventually, but not right now. Speaking of which, Earth, please give me a second construction ship so I can be doing both construction and expansion simultaneously. That would really be quite handy. Okay. Survey habitable worlds. I wish we'd gotten that before we'd surveyed Sirius and Alpha Centauri, or we'd be half done with that. Because if we had, we'd be half done with that one already. And that would be nice. Real nice. Up is down. Some bizarre thing about gravity. Yay. Okay. Mining station, please. Mining station. Fucking space piracy. And Barnard Star is the heart of the problem. Okay. I need an admiral now. Cautious, more weapons range. And I am changing the name of this fleet. What the hell? This is so weird. Some of my number keys are being strange in some cases, but not in others. Like, the 1 and 2 keys seem to not want to work. Excluding the numpad ones, I mean. On the internet, or in this thing. But they work fine in Microsoft Word. I don't get it. Oh well. Imperial First Fleet. The pirates are in Barnard Star. Please kill them. That would be great, yeah? Also get an outpost up there. We need to be pushing our borders forward. Good. Good, good, good. And now we will nuke their faces. These fools. What did they think would happen when they did battle with the mighty Imperial Navy? What else could happen but them winding up extremely dead? They're all gone, but how about you get fixed first? I would like our ships to be available and at full strength when we engage the pirate outpost in Barnard Star. I just hope they're patient enough to wait on us before they go and attack. Now we can go up to fast again. Okay, I will take the additional pop now, and I don't know if that will trigger for Barnard Star or not. We'll see, I guess. For the time being, I'm sending that construction ship over to Procyon to improve our minerals, giving us more income. The first fleet has been repaired. So they can now head over to Barnard Star to squish the pirates. It shall be glorious. And not just because there's lots of glory to be had, obviously. Build 2 mining stations. All ships, you have the green light to engage. Kill the pirates. No mercy, no surrenders. And now we shall observe as the pirates spend their final moments begging for mercy, as the fleet tears them to ribbons. Yes, yes, we shall. Mohahaha. That's what you get for being filthy pirate scum. And I will take your booty now. And claim your system for my own. Ha ha ha. Now, First Fleet, job well done. Go home and fix yourselves up. You earned it. You earned it. We're down a little bit in income. Probably down to building some stuff, as our population hasn't gone up any. And probably half the fact that my fleet is in the field. We're going to continue exploiting the resources we have, while simultaneously growing. Our fleet should get repaired soon enough. And there they are. And we have 2 months left until Nova Arabia is colonized. And we have a second planet to our name. And more income. Because of having more people to tax. And that's a month away now. So, keep surveying down there. One of our admirals has gained the trait for fleet logistician. That's it. I was trying to think of the name that gives you better supply. Better supply nursing, or whatever the hell it's called. But I just could not think of the one. Yep. Do we want you as a slave producing food? I think we do. And the next one is going to be a slave producing minerals. Okay. I'm going to continue expanding our borders, but there's some resources nearby that need to be exploited, and I would be remiss not to go and exploit them. So, that is just what I will do. Exploit me some resources. And we found some structures on a planet that shouldn't be there. Okay, then. I will continue to exploit the resources that are here because they're there. And that is clearly the perfect reason to be going after those resources. And wherever up there we get more minerals. I'm gonna have to push up. Take those systems so I can have that one. Nova Arabia. Nova Arabia, you are an excellent world. Or you will be soon enough, I should say. Not just yet, I don't think. I'll leave it be. And you can research your anomaly. There we go. And I'll continue exploiting our resources here. We've encountered something. That's another empire. I'm going to actively not attempt to research them. As dumb as that might sound. I'd like to hold off on first contact, if at all possible. We found an amusement park. Oh yay. When we're done over there, I'll build another mining outpost. For actual minerals rather than energy is what I mean, by the way. Okay, this is going well. We have, right now, a small little realm and a healthy income, as well as 2 planets. I like the way things are going so far. I have a positive feeling. I just hope it stays that way. You all know what happened last time. I got so utterly boxed in, it wasn't even funny. And these guys have translated my language. Star Empire, Hegemonic Imperialists, the Virtuosus Interplanetary Empire. They are fanatic, authoritarian, and militarist. I bring greetings from Emperor Zeus I, the undisputed ruler of the Virtuosus Interplanetary Empire. Respect our borders and keep out of our affairs, and perhaps our mighty fleets will refrain from visiting your worlds. Well, keep out of our way or we will make you. I have no reason to think anything positive of you, Xeno scum. The news that we've encountered intelligent alien life for the first time has shaken our society to the core. Leaked footage of these bizarre creatures is spreading through media outlets across the Terran Empire, and many citizens have been gripped by panic. Rioting has been reported in several cities on Earth. The strange Xenos appear to have achieved a level of technology similar to our own, and they are clearly spacefaring. Whether they regard our great species with fear, hatred, or cold indifference is anyone's guess. We should assume the worst. Indeed we should. And they are down here. And we are in fact equivalent to them. Properly equivalent, rather than they're superior in 1 or 2 things. Let's see. They want us to crack down on the drugs. How about no? I'm going to leave the drugs as they are. Nothing wrong with letting people have drugs, right? That never caused any negative backlash by just letting the people have their drugs. It'll be fine. Don't worry so much. They can have their drugs. It'll be good. Okay. We found mining drones. And we can't use our original path because those assholes have closed their borders to us. So, please go home. Actually, screw that. You can go survey that system, and I'll plan from there. as well. Start claiming more systems. Army damage and minerals. While I'm at it, I think I will take a mining network level 2 because we need to up our mineral output. Because we need more income and so on. Aliens in Barnard Star. Lovely. We're going to meet more Xeno scum, aren't we? Just what I didn't need. Xeno scum. But I've been running this stream for about 2 hours now, so I think this is an appropriate time to be ending it. And so I will be doing just that. Thank you so much for turning up for this, and if you want to catch me for my next stream, apparently now it's customary for me to get interrupted even when trying to say goodbye. Not sure how to feel about that. But, to get back on what I was saying, to those of you who decide to watch this... Oh, we have a viewer. Hello. Well then, maybe I won't cancel. I was going to end this right here. Because I've been going for about 2 hours now. But I suppose I can keep going for a little while longer. Why not? So, let's see. Where was I? Yeah. Expanding our borders a little, building some research and mining stations, that's right. And we had science ships going everywhere, and I had just met some Xeno scum. And we have 2 colonies now, so let's see, I'll start upgrading one of my power plants. And we're still in the middle of Operation Survey the Entire Galaxy. Why did I not tell my science ship to go there? I don't know. Anyways... You guys go there. That system is ours now. move to that one. Okay. Build me a starbase, please. Build me a starbase. Okay, so we have one viewer who popped up for about 10 seconds and then left. That is unfortunate. It truly is. I would have... Okay. We have more Xenoscum. Let's see. Democratic Crusaders. You won't threaten our Emperor, bitch. Their fleet power is superior to us. Everything else is equal. Well, those guys down there are equal. Okay. So actually, after we survey, we're not going to be able to make it onto that arm from this particular angle. We'll have to go up through there and survey like that. And I'm going to want it to go like that. Let's see, after we claim that system, I'm going to go for the Sirius system. Even though it's kind of shit, I'm eventually going to unlock the ability to clear those blockers, and then it'll be a decent planet for the purpose of having another planet on it. Physics lab, check. Now give me assist research. And a physics lab, right there. And a basic science lab that will later be upgraded into an engineering lab, I think. Aha! More star systems. Yay, because right now we are basically discovering new systems faster than we can claim them. Even if I was trying to claim every new system we discovered, which I'm not, we couldn't. That system is ours. I'll build a few research stations. I need to, because otherwise my research will fall behind, critically so. And actually, I am, in fact, despite me changing my mind back there, I think I am going to end the live stream here. Just let me say once again, and hopefully not get interrupted this time, thank you so much for those of you that decided to turn up to this live stream. I realize that when it comes to streaming and, well, being interesting and stuff, I am not the best in a lot of ways, but I am trying to get better at it, and I appreciate your patience while I learn to not suck as much, and learn the ins and outs of this whole streaming thing. That said, if you're interested in seeing my next live stream, then I will also be streaming tomorrow at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. So you can come out to my channel at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for my next couple of streams. And my next one after that will be on Sunday at 10 a.m. and will run from then until whenever in the day I feel like stopping. That said, if the Sunday one runs past about 12:30, I will have to take a break for lunch. But it will probably run a good deal longer than that. And if you want to get an exact idea of what I'll be streaming and when, I have my schedule posted in the description section on my channel page, so you can check that out there. Anyways, if you've enjoyed this whole thing, then please consider following my channel so you get updated on when I'm streaming, and also heading over to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/darkphoenixninja92, where you'll find more stuff like this, role-playing games and strategy games where I focus more on immersion and telling a story than actually doing well at the games. Because a lot of times I'll end up getting so focused on making witty comments or telling stories that I will die doing something completely foolish. So if that's the sort of thing that you're interested in, go over and check me out there. And also, you might consider following me on Twitter. I make announcements related to YouTube and my Twitch live streams over on Twitter, so that if I have to not stream for whatever reason, or I've decided I wanted to do a live stream, but that stream's not on my schedule, then I'll post an announcement of that on my Twitter feed. So if you want to catch that sort of thing, then follow me there. In any case, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I will see you next time. So long for now. So long for now.